TUF 29 bantamweight, Dustin Lampros. Not sure if you remember him. 100.
I do remember him. Yeah.
He was an undefeated bantamweight coming out of Florida. He was very solid. I mean, he had a very solid fight. I don't think he made it past the first round, but nonetheless, I was scrolling on social media last night randomly and came across this absolutely insane Instagram post that led me to an account called 516PC. And I thought this was very interesting, to say the least. So, what I wanted to show you here was a couple videos and just get your raw reactions because, man, Dustin Lampros is becoming the next Batman, the next Nightwing, the next Robin, right? Like, we've been watching Titans on HBO Max, right? And he giving me the vibe of I might not have superpowers, right? But
I'll still beat your ass.
right, I have the training to do that, and he seems to be doing the work of law enforcement today. I came across this Instagram 61PC, which is a predators catcher blog. It seems to have a YouTube channel that they're making out of this. But nonetheless, I mean, you see here in the description, trying to make South Florida a better place, catching one child predator at a time. Take a look at this crazy ass shit I came across.
You Ubered straight from work on a Friday night to meet a 13-year-old in a completely pitch black, dark, closed off park. Like, what? Asking a 13-year-old for naked pictures. A child, a child. Not even in high school. Someone who has a bedtime. Someone who literally has a bedtime, you're asking if they want to have sex with you. Being a 33-year-old man. How long have you been attracted to children? Just give me an age where you started noticing that. Early 20s?
Hey, Dad, can you talk? Can you talk? I came to meet a minor to have sex with her dad. Yeah.
And what you're doing tonight at this park?
It's Nathaniel Botani, Atlanta, Florida. I was here to meet a 14-year-old for sex.
Fucking shit. When I tell you I have goosebumps watching that clip last night, knowing that I had to talk about this shit.
I mean, he put that dude on blast.
And at first thought, you might think, damn, that's a lot. Fuck that. Fuck that.
I mean, here's the thing. You think it's a lot, right? People who have sex offense have to register their name and address anyway. So if you're like, oh, that's hard, he had to put his name there, and we're like, you have to do that if you get charged with something regardless.
Well, who knows if they were charged with that prior, right? He could.
I mean, even so,
with new that have never been charged.
But even so, if you wanted to be like, wow, he really made him do that, like that's not cool. If he were to get convicted of that, he would have had to anyway. So don't put any sort of sympathy on that, because that's something that every child predator sex offense, whether it's like just in general, any sort of sex offense, that you have to go on a registry and your name and address is there and with your picture, and you have to tell all your neighbors. So take away the soft feelings for that.
No, 100%, right? And that was the same thing for me. Like, I was like, damn, this is savage. Like, I would never do something like this. And I think people looking from the outside in with no context, they're probably like, oh, this kid's just doing it for clout. Why is this on the internet? right? He's just doing it for clout. But you can see it the other way too. No one else is fucking doing anything about it, right? So someone's got to do something about it. And it seems like Dustin just took matters into his own hands.
Yo, and I'm not gonna lie, because you told me about this like very briefly. You were like, all right, this is another section. And I just want to get your reaction to it. So you're like, Dustin Lampros, sex offense. And I'm like, whoa, what are we talking about here on the show right now? So like, that's a different kind of twist. I was, fully expecting it to be something kind of similar to Rocco, where it's like, oh, he got caught doing something. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of get behind this. That's a, like, do it. Right.
Yeah. It's wild. It gives you goosebumps. I mean, there's only 2 videos out, right? So who knows how many more he's caught. When I first looked at this, I was like, damn, this is savage, right? He's an MMA fighter, so I'm sure these guys are shook. They probably and like they have to do it. But when I kept doing more investigation, it seems like he does turn these people over to the law, and he doesn't do anything further than catch them. He doesn't put hands on them, none of that. So yeah, this is absolutely crazy. He's giving me, Batman vibes, Nightwing vibes. But check out this other video.
You apologize for what?
For everything, for anything I've done in the past, future, everything. I apologize for everything.
Why'd you come here tonight?
To meet a 13-year-old.
Call your parent.
Call him. Call your dad. Put it on speaker. Put it on speaker and tell me exactly what you're here to do. Put it on speaker. Come here.
It's on. Hello? What tell him?
Tell him exactly what you're here to do.
Here to meet a 13-year-old, and 2 guys were pretty much setting me up with it.
No, we're not setting you up.
They were behind it.
You came here to meet a 13-year-old. Tell your dad what you bought and what you brought.
Brought weed and blankets.
And
no,
condoms.
I didn't bring those.
You said you brought condoms.
I didn't bring them.
You said you brought
No.
condoms. What's the deal? What's up? He got caught in a sting operation.
I got caught in a sting operation.
Your son came here tonight. He's been chatting with a 13-year-old for over a month now, and he knowingly knew she was 13 years old and came to meet her at Walmart to pick her up and to take her to a park to hang out. And he brought weed and a blanket.
That's it.
And you even said you brought condoms. We have it.
I was going to get them here.
He was going to buy condoms to hang out with a 13-year-old. And I don't know if you're aware, sir, but that is highly illegal to lure a minor off the internet. It's called a child predator. And your son right now is holding himself accountable by calling you and letting you know because your son needs help.
He's also admitted to having attraction to minors for an extended period of time. He didn't give us an exact amount of time. So we wanted, like the associate said, to hold him accountable, and his word doesn't mean much to us. So that's why we wanted him to call his father.
When someone that hopefully loves him and wants him to get help, because he says this is his first time, but I truly don't believe it. He said he's lonely. I've been lonely myself before, and I've never thought about hanging out with a 13-year-old in a park on a Friday night. You don't know.
It was just over the phone, and
it was over the internet.
Oh, I missed out there, but nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Sheesh, right? I mean, I don't know how he's going about it, right? It seems like he is disguising himself. Is that legal? I have no idea, but nonetheless, he's doing the work of law enforcement and started to gain a lot of traction. Look at the views. This was 122. The next video was 1,294 plays. So
right.
traction. He seems like he's not stopping anytime soon. But kudos to Dustin. We'll see him in the big league soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how the legal aspect of it all works. That's not my field of expertise. I'm sure that I mean, when police use that kind of sting operation, I don't know that they actively go out and seek people. I think you set up a profile to fish, and if somebody comes to you, and I don't know exactly how it works, but it seems like he's catching these guys and not going across is something that he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, wanted to show you that to see what else is going on in the world of MMA.